Hi Aries, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, we're starting off with the Four of Wands and the Queen of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. It seems like you're creating a sort of like maybe even safe haven or space for yourself, and you may feel like you're defending that, or like maybe even expressing to someone like something about this space that you've built for yourself. You may be like also fine-tuning the way that you're entering into conversations with people too, being very deliberate with how you're speaking, what you're receiving as well. Maybe like what you're energetically involving yourself in too. Yeah, it seems like choosing your words very carefully. You may also be prioritizing like your reflection time or your meditation time, or like your space that you have when you're alone. And like it seems like a constant evolution of going within and finding what it is that you're looking for. And that may be changing the ways that I don't know, the ways that you're even going about talking to someone or certain people in your life. Because it's like, I'm seeing when you take this time for yourself, and you may be giving yourself more breaks, or like you feel more intuitively in touch with yourself. Because, like you're listening to your body and taking breaks when you feel like it's necessary. And like only communicating as much as you feel is necessary as well. So this is like not needlessly getting involved in conversations and like channeling your energy into that. It's like being very deliberate about where it is that you're channeling your energy and like prioritizing your peace here. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm seeing this very much be a balance of like the time that you have with yourself. I'm also hearing within yourself, and then the time that you're using when you're interacting with others, communicating with others. And it feels like you're learning a lesson here about how much reflecting is benefiting you, and maybe the relationships that you're involved in as well. I'm seeing too that you could have been involved with something that like had felt out of balance, or because you're getting a better idea of what balance feels like to you, and like a sense of equality within your relationships and whatnot. There's a sense of like not overindulging or over expending your energy and finding a better balance for yourself. And it's a space that feels more grounded to you. Because you could have been, like, really investing your energy into something, but you weren't really seeing that returned, and so you may have felt like you needed to take a break and, reassess something for yourself, and I'm seeing you very much doing that here. Yeah, it seems you could have had some sort of unpleasant interaction with someone, or like you observed something that you didn't like, or you felt like it was out of balance. And you may have felt a need to say something about this. Like maybe even interject in some sort of way. But like I'm seeing you also take a step back from something. So maybe you recognize that you didn't want to be involved in something as you had been before, because you felt like you weren't going to get what you needed. And this can either be like you voluntarily like giving energy away that you recognize you don't want to be doing anymore, or this can be like being around someone that you feel like really does weigh on you and like pull on your cords energetically, and like something that you either needed to cut off or move away from, or like give yourself a break from, something like that. And you were like really trying to figure out the way that you wanted to go about saying this and communicate with this person. I'm looking at Virgo and Capricorn and Saturn here. And I'm seeing this give you like a very different and a very new perspective on something that you could have been energetically tied to. But as I said before, it seems like it could have been like somewhat of an unpleasant experience, and it's something that you wanted to change. Maybe you are also understanding too, that like when having a certain agenda, like there would be a way that you would be, maybe like entering into a space with someone, however, like when you're dropping the agenda, how it changes the interaction or the connection that you have with someone too. Because there's a sense of like maybe even seeing something about yourself or someone that you hadn't been able to observe before. But because you're doing more reflecting, now you're able to see that. Yeah, you could have even been, I'm hearing the word perilous. You could have been like super concentrated even on someone and been like, you know what, I'm giving so much of my energy to this. Like, what am I doing? This is how I'm spending my time. I'm seeing something like that. Or like, I'm so emotionally involved in this, and like, what am I doing that for? So this really feels like a reining in. Yeah, you could have been involved in something or watching something like nonstop, and you felt like that was affecting you in in a way where you were feeling a bit ungrounded. So now it's about grounding, because I'm seeing you like really taking control when it comes to the emotional health front. And feeling more confident because of this, and feeling too like this is more so the way that you want to be approaching and driving your passions, especially things like creatively that you want to be driving forward. Because I'm seeing there's definitely still passion here, but it's like a more voluntary sense of how you're getting things done. And I'm seeing you take more care of yourself too. It's like maybe tending to your needs more often as well. Self-care, things like that, focusing on you. Focusing on things within the home as well. Yeah, Aries, I'm seeing you be like in charge of something. Like I'm seeing very much like a head honcho type of energy. And there's a sense of like the more balanced you are, the better you feel like you're able to fit into this role that you play too. It's like maybe before in some type of way, like your desires or your wants or your needs or your expectations had been like getting in the way of how you were doing things. Like you may have been feeling more reactive or like more impulsively behaving in a way, or it's like if something hurt your feelings or bothered you, you may have like more impulsively jumped to do something if it didn't like fit within your expectations. But there's a sense of like really wanting to ground down this experience and understand like where it is that these feelings are coming from and what they mean to you and how it is that you want to go about doing things in the face of that. And it's bringing more harmony into your relationships too. It feels almost like something could have happened that like reoriented you into like maybe even taking better care of yourself. Because I'm seeing that through healing, something within your dynamics are slowly evolving and changing. And maybe you're even being more upfront or more honest about how it is that you feel too. Because the more grounded you are, I'm also hearing simplicity. I'm seeing the happier that you feel. And maybe at times too, you feel like, oh, I always have to be in charge of things, or like everything is dependent on me or relying on me. And there's a sense of like looking even at your role or your position differently than you had before. And maybe understanding the power within that. Yeah, I'm really seeing like a sense of resilience here. It's like something that had happened that you felt like regretful about or sad about or unhappy about. I'm seeing that like really instead of using that to get stuck in a way, I'm seeing you like use that as a catalyst to make some type of change that you wanted to create for yourself. So I'm seeing you like be better off because of something that had happened, even if it was a struggle and it was like something painful to adjust to. I'm seeing that it's like allowing you to like make a better shift, like going in a better direction for yourself here. And things are changing because of this, maybe even because you're prioritizing yourself more. There's also a sense too of understanding as well that like even when things don't go as expected, when you're feeling more grounded, you feel better able to be managing these experiences as well. You feel more attuned to yourself and in a place of knowing how to better adjust to the ups and the downs too that are going on around you in your environment. In this spread, I'm looking at Scorpio, the Sun, and Gemini. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.